All right, today we're looking at dangers of bitterness and unforgiveness. Now, let me start introducing by saying that bitterness and unforgiveness are part of the most destructive emotions we can harbor. Very destructive as long as life and destiny is concerned. Now, this can creep in into our life slowly without we knowing that they are coming in, they are there. Slowly poisoning our mind, slowly poisoning our heart, slowly poisoning our relationships. I want you to know that when you hold on to bitterness and unforgiveness, you open yourself up to a world of hurt. You open yourself up to a world of anger. You open yourself up to a world of resentment. But I want you to know that bitterness and unforgiveness has consequences. And one of these consequences is what we will look about today. I will name them one after the other. First of all, I want you to know that God loves you. So when we talk about this thing, we are not talking about it to castigate you. We are not talking about it to bring you down. We are not talking about it to make you feel uncomfortable. But we are talking about these things to let you know that you can become better than you are. You can change from it and become better. Now, let's go into what we are talking about. The consequences of bitterness you have: number one, mental consequences; number two, spiritual consequences; number three, physical consequences; and number four, relational consequences. Now, let's go into the consequences. Number one, emotional consequences. Emotional consequences has three stages or has three types of emotional consequences. Number one of it is resentment and anger. Resentment and anger. This is very, very important that we know about these things. When you keep resenting or you keep becoming angry unnecessarily because of somebody you're harboring bitterness or unforgiveness on, this can lead to, is a very dangerous thing to your health. Very dangerous to your health. Now, this can be overwhelming and difficult to manage because you can't manage them. You can't manage it. You whenever you see this person, you feel like destroying this person. You feel like hurting this person, and because you cannot hurt the person, the feelings and the anger keep hurting yourself. Number two of emotional consequences is emotional pain. When we talk about emotional pain, this is when you hold on to bitterness and unforgiveness. This emotional pain, you can't love, you can't have a relationship that will last. You can't do things that seems to be okay because of pains emotionally. You can't think well, you can't pass through judgment because of emotional pains. Emotional pains, you have anxiety and depression. Talking about depression is the worst of it all. When we talk about emotional pain, we talk about depression. Depression is the worst of it all. And what about this depression is that you won't even know that this depression has crept in. It's very subtle, very, very manual, that it will just creep in at any point in time. Depression. If you must go far in life, you must fight against depression. Depression is one of the worst enemy to our greatness, because that is when you remove yourself from people. You isolate yourself. Every time you just want to be alone. Because of emotional pain, emotional struggles. No, it is not good for your health. When you do that, you are endangering yourself. So number two, I said that consequences of bitterness and unforgiveness. I said that number one is emotional consequences, and number two is mental consequences. Now, when you see me look up, I am looking at my tablet that I kept in front of me because of the notes that I take down. So, mental consequences: you have negative thought pattern, you have cognitive distortions, you have memory distortion. This will bastardize your mental health. You can't think straight. You can't pass healthy judgment when it comes to life. You can't make healthy decisions. Excuse me. When it comes to life and destiny, when it comes to business, you can't make healthy decisions. When it comes to decisions that will take you far, you can't take such healthy decisions because of of bitterness and unforgiveness. And number 3, you have spiritual consequences. When we talk about spiritual consequences, you have spiritual blockages, you have separation from God. This can move you aside of God. You can't. The Bible said, it's only sin that makes man different, that separates man from God. Sin. And when we talk about sin, it's not just, it's beyond having fornication, it's beyond doing all manner of things that are very common. Bitterness and unforgiveness is part of it, and this can separate us from God, and we can lose our spiritual gift because of bitterness and anger, bitterness and unforgiveness. This can make us it can even lose your life. I have heard stories of people who hung themselves because they were harboring bitterness against somebody. We have settled the case of a guy who nearly killed because of bitterness and unforgiveness. Let's go further because I don't have time on this matter. So let's move further. We already know about these things, but let's go. You have physical consequences. This one can break down your immune system. Can have physical pains. I once told somebody, every time he keep talking about chest pain, and when I dig deep into the matter, I discovered that he has been holding unforgiveness against somebody, and each time he remembers the thing, he keeps paining her on the chest. He keep having chest pain, because how did I know? Have taken this person to hospital and check medication, take all manner of things, take all medications that she's supposed to take, whereas the thing refused to go. So when I began to go into spiritually on this matter, and I noticed that this person has been holding on forgiveness against somebody, and I began to counsel her. After much counseling and all that, she gave up those things that she was harboring in her heart, and I tell you the truth, till now the chest pain has gone. So what am I trying to say? This thing has physical effect, and sometimes they damage our immune system. You can't sleep well. You see, the person can't sleep well. You can't sleep well because you're harboring bitterness. You can't sleep well. It will be disturbing your sleep. Making you to have pains all there and there. Let's go further. You have relational consequences. This one is very, very, very bad, because you can transfer this aggression from this person to this person, from this person to this person. You can't have a healthy relationship, because you'll be seeing everybody as the first thing that happened to you. Any little thing you read unnecessary meaning into it, whereas it's not truth. These are the consequences of bitterness and unforgiveness. Let's move on. Now I want you to know the way to heal this thing. I want to give us ways we can tackle bitterness and unforgiveness. And number 1 way to tackle bitterness and unforgiveness is practice forgiveness daily. Forgiveness is like a muscle that needs to be exercised regularly. Every day you go to the gym, you work out, you do that is how forgiveness is supposed to be. It's supposed to be our daily routine. So each time that you feel that somebody has offended you, forgive the person and move on. Talk about it, forget about it and move on. Don't talk about it and dwell on it. And the more you dwell on it, the more you endanger your health, the more you destroy yourself, the more you make yourself feel bitter concerning such things. Forgive daily. Start practicing forgiveness from at any point in time. Just if you have not been forgiven, start it now. It will help you. I know what I'm talking about. Number 2, let go of grudges. Don't bear grudges against your neighbor. They are not your problem. I tell you this. The person you are bearing grudges against is not your problem. Look at inside. There is something inside that is making you to bear grudges against somebody. It might be inferiority complex. You might be feeling that you are not worthy enough. It might be so many things that are inside. So let's go. Number 3, cultivate empathy. Try to understand people. Try to understand people. Empathy. Empathy. Try and understand people. Don't look down on anybody. Don't look down on people. Sometimes try to put yourself in their shoe. Try to feel their pain. Try, because when you do that, you'll be able to learn how to forgive and practice forgiveness. Number 4, practice self-reflection and self-awareness. Every time, regularly reflect on your thoughts, reflect on your emotions, reflect on your actions. Recognize when you are feeling bitter. Very, very important. Don't just live life as it comes, as it goes. No, recognize when you are feeling bitter and work towards to change from it. Number 5, surround yourself with positive influence. Don't have people who are with bad vibe, bad energy, negative energy. Don't have things to do with them. Surround yourself with people who always tell you the truth, because the truth will make you free, will set you free. Number 6, focus on personal growth and development. Focus on personal growth and development. Try as much as possible to move on, grow from the level you are to the next level. This life is not stunted. That's why you grow from where you are to the level you are today. Number 7, practice mindfulness and meditation. Number 8, seek help when needed. Number 9, practice gratitude and appreciation. Number 10, remember that forgiveness is a process. This is where I will round it up. Forgiveness is not always easy. Yes, I know. It's not always easy. It is often a process. Take your time and harbor the pain for a while. Afterward, push it away. Forgive the person and let go. Be patient with yourself and remember that forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. So you keep forgiving, because the Bible says, forgive, Lord, forgive us as we forgive. Forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So if you don't forgive those who trespass against you, God won't forgive you. So it is very, very important that we do so. Forgive those who done things against us and move on in life. I want to encourage you, by following these tips, I know that you will be mindful of things that can harm your life, your health, your emotions. Things like unforgiveness and bitterness. Do away with them. Cast them away. Throw them away. At the end of it all, you will have your health intact. You will have your emotions intact. You have everything concerning you intact. Nothing spoiled, nothing damaged. Thank you.